Hey everyone, this is Grace of GB Maltese, and this is what I have done on my Valentine's Day collab canvas. It is coming along very nicely. Look how beautiful these drills are. Just gorgeous. It's a beautiful canvas by Treasure Studios Art. And I want to thank Rachel again for sponsoring our Valentine's Day collab between Crafting Journey with Rebecca and I. Our collab will be coming to a close on February 29th with our drawings for prizes. So stay tuned to that. Keep a lookout on our channels. I'm going to get ready to do the drawing for this week. Okay, now we're going to get ready to get the comments from the video from last week. You were to comment on your favorite scent. I've loaded the video. Now we're going to, I've filtered the duplicates. Let's get the comments. And let's see, we have 77 unique comments. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to start the raffle. Good luck to everyone. Let's see whose name is going to come up this week. Here we go. Judy McIntyre. I like plain old vanilla. I wrap patty wax in foil and put it in my heating pad. Perfect. Love gardenia smell. Awesome. That's a great hint for the patty wax. Thank you, Judy. And I'm going to add her name to the list, as you can see. These are the people in the list so far. This is going to make number 8. Congratulations, Judy. And make sure I get this right. So these are the 8 names. They're going to be 4 prizes. All of these names will be put into a drawing. We have we have this week and next week. So I'm now going to show you the prizes that I have that are going into the grand prize pot next. This is what I have chosen for this week's items to go into the grand prize. And as a crafter, I can never have enough cases to put things in. I have a case just like this one, and on one side you can put diamond painting pens. Over here you can put any other accessories that you want. There's a place you could put patty wax or other whatever else you want to carry around. And then you have the other side with more storage area. And I've already put something in there to help you enjoy your diamond painting even more. And those are some Lindor chocolate truffles. They're all different kinds. They are delicious. And I put an even amount in each bag, so you got all that candy. But look, you have storage over here. I keep patty wax in mine on this side, a couple of bars. I have put my DP tray in here. There's plenty of room to put everything you can imagine, plus some snacks. So this is the next item going into the big grand prize drawing. There's 2 of each thing. Rebecca has several items. I have several items. And I'll show all of those. Maybe next week I'll show you everything together. And then we'll be doing the drawing on February the 29th. So make sure you listen to what to comment before this video is over with, and put your comment below so that your name can be put in to the drawing for the grand 4. We have 4 different things we're giving away. You'll have to just watch and listen to see what those things are going to be. So, I love my bag. I hope you'll like yours if you're the winner. Well, one of 2. Okay, I'm going to get my canvas and do some diamond painting. Okay, I am going to work on the word love, and I'm going to be using these sparklers. It says for squares originals, and they are round, but they are 2.5. They're not the regular sparklers. They're made for squares because on the canvases for Treasure Studios Arts, the rounds are actually 2.5s. So I was able to order these, and I'm going to do the word love in this. Isn't that gorgeous? I decided to give a little bit of a pop, and the heart that's in the O, I'm planning on doing it in red sparklers. But let's see how this is going to look. I'm excited to try these out. This is my first time using these sparklers, and I'm looking forward to seeing how beautiful they're going to look. So I thought I'm going to do this on camera for you guys. Work on something a little more interesting color maybe. So let's get started, and then let's see how it looks. I'm excited to check it out. Okay, getting everything ready. Pull this up here a little bit, and let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing this on the little areas that they look like little snowflakes or something, because that's kind of a white color, and I decided to do them in these sparklers. I think it's going to be gorgeous. Cannot wait to see how it's going to look when it is done. Oh, these work beautifully. Yeah. Oh, I hope you can see that sparkle. Let's see if I can move this a little bit. See if you can see that sparkle like I can. Ooh, so pretty. I'll straighten that out a little bit. And continue going. Now, the last, about 3 weeks, I have been doing things on idioms, and everyone seems to be enjoying that, so I looked up some more to do, and so I have a few more today that I thought were kind of interesting. We have phrases that we use every day, and they come from sometimes they're quite extraordinary circumstances. The first one, someone had wanted to know about tickled pink. So I looked it up, and it said that it was first used in 1922. And what it meant was when a person gets tickled, their face turns pink from being tickled, from laughing so hard. So that's where the phrase tickled pink. So if you get really excited, people say, I'm tickled pink, because it's like you're really excited. When someone gets tickled and they turn all pink, they're having a good laugh, and they may or may not like it, but that's where it came from. So you got the word tickled in there, and the face goes pink, and that's where that term came from. I thought that was kind of interesting. Didn't know exactly where it came from. The next one that I thought was quite interesting is cold feet. You hear sometimes people say the groom got cold feet and he was late to the wedding, or he didn't show up at all. So where does that come from? Well, actually, it comes from the military. It's a military term. And this was, I remember watching some documentaries and even in movies. it showed in World War I when the soldiers were fighting in Russia or other cold areas. They would freeze. I saw whole bodies frozen, but their feet froze. And so if you have frozen feet, you can't go into battle quickly. So that's actually where it came from. They have cold feet. They're slow to move forward. And I thought, wow. Is the groom afraid of going into battle? So that's where that little term came from. Okay, we've heard of one for the road. You're out with friends and you're gonna have your last drink or whatever, and you say, I'm gonna have one for the road. Now this is kind of a weird one, I thought. This was back in the Middle Ages, and people who were condemned to execution were taken in the back of a wagon. They were going down the road. It's now known as, I think, Coronation Road. It's, of course, in England. And what they would do is they would stop and they would let the condemned person have one last drink if they wanted one. And that was known as one for the road. The road to they were being condemned. So that's where one for the road came from. That's kind of creepy. Wow. Oh, a lot of us have heard of white elephant, and we'll do white elephant gifts at Christmas. And usually, when you give a white elephant gift, it's something that you don't like. You maybe received it from someone else, and you said, I'm gonna give that away to somebody else. Or it can be something funny, but the term came from Thailand. They had some white elephants, and the white elephants were sacred in Thailand. And they were also very, very difficult to take care of. They had to be treated very carefully, fed special foods. They were very expensive. So, the Siamese kings, and Siam is Thailand now, they would send a white elephant to someone they wanted to punish, because they hoped that having to take care of that elephant would bring them to financial ruin. So when you think of getting a gift that you really don't want, we think of it as a white elephant. Well, when people were given a gift of a white elephant, no, they didn't want it, because it was going to cost them a fortune to take care of it. But that's where it came from. It actually came from a white elephant. And people didn't want to be burdened with that. So the next time you do a white elephant gift exchange, you can tell them where it came from. I don't think that we could afford buying white elephants, a real white elephant these days. But I thought that was rather interesting. They punished them by doing that. Okay, here is one that I've used in the past. Crocodile tears. In the past, I have had some students that could turn on the tears just like that. They knew they were going to get in trouble. They would just start crying. It's like they had no emotion on their face at all. The tears were just coming. And so we call that crocodile tear. Like, you know, those are fake tears. And the term came from people saying that when a crocodile was eating a person, they had tears, which is false. They do not. They do not shed tears for eating anything that they put in their mouth. But though the term was found in Shakespeare's works back in the 16th century, so it has now been passed on down. And so if you have someone has crocodile's tears, they're not real. They're not real tears. They're putting it on, and they are really not sad or sorry for what they've done. They're able to turn on the waterworks. Would have you know, it's just strange. Have any of you ever seen anyone do that? They can turn on the tears just at the drop of a hat, and then hoping people are going to feel sorry for them, and, oh, baby, don't cry, it's okay. I know you didn't mean to. And actually, they really aren't showing any emotion. So, that's crocodile tears. Show true colors. Okay, if someone says, oh, now they're showing their true colors, that means they're showing what they're really like. And that came back when there were warships. In order to confuse other warships, what the different ships would do, they would fly flags from all different countries. So it would confuse them. They'd be like, oh, are they coming from England? Are they coming from Spain? Are they coming from, you know, they had no idea because they'd be flying all these different flags. Then it was a rule or whatever. They had to show their true colors or their true flags before they could shoot their first shot. So before they could start firing on someone, they had to take all the false flags down and be flying their true colors so that they would know who was actually firing at them. Because if you don't know who it is, you don't know who the enemy is. So before they were able to fire at the other warships, they had to show their true colors, fly their true flag. So I thought that was interesting. I'd never heard that before. And that would be quite confusing. You'd be going, can you just imagine, you're going in the ocean, through the ocean, and you see a ship with all these different flags. I would find that's just kind of mean. But, you know, all's fair in love and war, as they say. So they could sneak up on the enemy, and then they would take their other flags down and fly their true colors. And then they would start shooting at the other warships. So, when someone says, show your true colors, that's what they mean. They want to see the real you, not the fake one. Show who you really are. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me find where I left off. Okay, here's some more of the little snowflake looking things. This is looking so pretty. I'm loving these sparklers. Oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Wow. Woo! I can't wait to see this whole thing finish and this just sparkling away. Let me try to move it a little bit and see if you can see it. I'm not sure what you're able to see on the camera. Oh, it's so pretty. Wow. Just gorgeous. So this is one way you can use sparklers. Pick out one color that you want to change out and put the sparklers down. That's what I'm doing on this one, and we're going to see how it looks. And if if you put one down and you don't like the way it looks, they come right off. Because I put that in the wrong place. See how that popped right off? So that came right off the canvas. And there's another snowflake looking thing there. Okay. Has anyone ever told you, did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning? Yeah. There are some mornings I think I have. Yeah, you wake up, you really don't want to be messed with. You're kind of cranky maybe, and you're like, hey, back off. I don't need you to get in my face right now. Give me a few moments. Well, this actually came from a term back in history. The left side of things was considered to be evil. So, the left side of the bed was considered evil. If you got out of the left side of the bed, something bad was going to happen. So it was so bad, and people really believed it so much that they would actually push the left side of their bed up against the wall just to make sure they did not get out on the wrong side of the bed. So I guess if you were sleeping on the left-hand side of the bed, maybe you rolled over so you would get on the right. I don't know. Or did no one sleep on the left side at all? They didn't go into that much detail, but I can't imagine. I would think that you would use the whole bed up and maybe roll on over to make sure you get on the right side of the bed. I don't think. And then I got to thinking, okay, is it the left side of the bed when you're lying in the bed, or is it the left side when you're standing looking at the bed? And for myself, I came to thinking it must be when you're lying in the bed, because when you get out, you're either getting on the left or the right-hand side of the bed. I sleep on the right-hand side, so I always get on the, I'm always getting out on the right side of the bed. And my husband, he's getting off on the wrong side. I'll have to tell him that. I thought that was quite amusing. It's strange how certain numbers, certain sides of things, certain shapes can have evil connotations, or they can have good connotations. So that's very interesting. So just make sure you get out on the right side of the bed, not the wrong side. But that's where that term came from. This next one I thought was hilarious. Put a sock in it. Have you ever wanted to tell somebody, put a sock in it, be quiet, stop talking, or maybe lower your voice, put a sock in that, man. This came about when there were gramophones, and those machines did not have a volume on it. And the only way that they could get the volume down, or to muffle the sound a little bit, was to put woolen socks in that big horn that's on top of the gramophone. They'd stuck woolen socks in there. And I guess you'd maybe put as many socks as you needed to get the sound you wanted. But that's where put a sock in it came from. So if someone's telling you to put a sock in it, they're telling you, hey, quiet it down, or shh, stop talking. And I can just picture people with their gramophones blaring out and shoving socks down in there. And it said woolen socks. So I'm not sure that they had cotton socks and things like we have nowadays. We have a lot more things, and I'm just glad we have volume controls on our equipment. I'm not sure if I'm getting these as straight as I want to. I can straighten it later. I'm working a little bit further away from it than I normally do, and they look like they might be a little crooked. And this right here will help straighten things. Of course, I need to get where I can see it a little bit better, but you can see how I'm just kind of putting it in there and just going back and forth to kind of straighten that out a little bit. These are wonderful tools to have. They really are. And that is going to go, I love this diamond painting pen, and that is one of the prizes, is one of these pens, and it will have one of these tools in it also. I love it because you can straighten it out as you go along. I need to get where I can see it a little bit better before I do a really good job on it. Okay, have you ever heard of son of a gun? And usually when I say son of a gun, I'm like, darn it, or whatever. But it actually came from a certain thing that happened. Sailors would sometimes take their wives on voyages, and if their wife happened to be pregnant, they had to have a place where they could go to deliver their child. Well, the most private place on the ship was between the cannons. Okay, ladies, what do you think? Yeah, You're going to give birth to your child on the deck in between the cannons so you can have a little privacy. I thought, oh, wow. Anyway, when the baby was born, since they were born between the guns, especially, you know, if it was a male, they were called son of a gun. I guess because, you know, you got a cannon here, it's coming out. Yep. So they're son of a gun. Wow. To me, that's a real long stretch of the imagination. But they did. They say, you know, this is a son of a gun. Then if they would say that, then they meant their son was born right there on the ship in between the cannons. Wow, I just can't even imagine. I'm so thankful that medical science has come so much further and we know more about cleanliness, and we have better places for birthing. But I think if I was pregnant, wow, well, you know, those voyages, I guess, could last for months. I just don't know if I'd want to be on the ship. Not just because you're pregnant. Can you imagine if you get seasick? Ooh, you know, it's bad enough when you're pregnant. For me, it was the first 3 months. Don't think I could have taken seasickness on top of that, too. Okay, the next one is best man. Okay, many of us who've gotten married, we had our bridesmaids, and you know, you have your groom, and your groom has his groomsmen, and the groomsman picks one of his best friends or brother or whatever to be their best man, and he stands beside the groom during the ceremony. Well, this term came from back in the feudal days, when there would sometimes be a wedding ceremony going on. A rival lord may have it in for the groom for political reasons, and he wants to make life miserable for him. And so what happens is a group of those men that are against the groom getting married would come and steal the bride. Yeah, you can't have a wedding without a bride. So what the groom started doing was getting some of his best friends to attend him at his wedding to fight back in case this happened. I cannot even imagine, as hard as it was for me to get my husband out there without proposing to me, can you imagine someone coming to steal the bride because they have political differences, you know, their views are not quite the same. So yeah, they're going to break up the wedding. So yeah, you might have a big fight going on in the middle of your wedding. Wow. I'm glad that that doesn't happen today, because you know how scary it is getting married anyway, and you hope everything goes right. I would hate to have to plan that, oh, and by the way, there might be a battle during the wedding. We need a few more groomsmen. Get some more of your best friends. We need a best man here. So I thought those were kind of interesting. And since I'm from Texas, I thought, you know what? I'm going to look up some of the sayings that we say here in Texas. Now, some of these I'm more familiar with than others. Texas is a big state, as most of you know, and West Texas is very different than East Texas. North Texas is different. South Texas is different. So some of the phrases that are used in one part of the state, we don't use in another part. So some of them I read, I'm like, well, yeah, I can see why that would be in West Texas, because it's dry and there's a lot of dirt, not many trees. Here in East Texas, we get more rain, we've got lots of trees. So when you go from one part of Texas to the other, it does not look the same. I'm like, I cannot believe this huge state has not been divided into, because you go for a long ways, and yeah, you're still in Texas. Unless you live real close to a bordering state. Like I do live close to Louisiana. So I could cross over to Louisiana and be in another state in about an hour or so. But to get to the other side of Texas or to go to North Texas, we're talking a long journey. So let me read you some of these. And I found myself, when I was reading these out loud, I found myself having more of an accent just because of the way, because of the terms. Okay, I've got the E finished, so now, before I do that, I'll put this over here, and we're gonna do the V. So let me move you over a little bit. There we go. This is so pretty. I'm loving how this is looking. Hope you can see that shine. Wow, just gorgeous. Okay, let me read you some of these. Some of these you may have heard of, and they may be used in other states besides just Texas, but these are some that I have heard of here in Texas. And I've got others that I know that weren't listed. And one day I need to write those down. And most of the ones that I have, I heard from my husband. He's, like I said, I was born and pretty much raised in Houston area till I was 16 before I moved to this small little town. And we didn't use as many of these types of phrases. I didn't hear them like I do now since I live in a small town, Texas. Anyway, if it rains a lot, you might hear someone say, we're having a gully washer. And a gully is just a big, deep hole. And I have heard that one. Yeah, a gully washer is going to carve out a big hole. It's raining so hard. And then we got a toad strangler. You know, if you got a toad strangler, you are really getting some rain. It just makes me wonder, who sat there and came up with some of these things? But yeah, we're having a toad strangler today. Yeah, and a gully washer coming tomorrow. So here we go. Okay, the next one. Yeah, it gets hot in Texas. All over Texas. We have hot in the summertime. It's going to be hot. If you don't like hot, don't come here in the summer. July's really bad. So here are some sayings that you might hear. It's hotter than a honeymoon hotel. That's one I have not actually heard, but I thought, you know, that is kind of funny. Yeah, if it's hotter than a honeymoon hotel, you got a bunch of honeymooners, yeah, it's gonna be some heat going on in there. And then we have hotter than a stolen tamale, because tamales are served hot. You got a hot tamale, and if it's stolen, that's hot. So yeah, hotter than a stolen tamale. Then we have, oh, now this is one I have heard. It's so hot, the hens are laying boiled eggs. It's pretty darn hot, you know. So yeah, if your hens are laying boiled eggs, well, I guess that's one step that you wouldn't have to do if you wanted to have some boiled eggs to eat. One less step. And I have heard hotter than a $2 pistol, or just it's hotter than a pistol. I've heard that one several times. I have also heard, hotter than a 6-shooter. That's another one. That's the one that I hear a lot. It's hotter than a 6-shooter. I hear that from my husband. And sometimes we get fog, and I know other places around the nation get fog too. But have you ever heard it's so foggy the birds are walking? Yeah, that's pretty darn foggy. Just picturing those birds walking through the fog. This one I think is hilarious. And this probably comes more from northern or western Texas because the wind's blowing all the time. It's the wind's blowing like perfume through a prom. Have you ever walked through prom and, you know, the girls have all their perfumes slathered on? Yeah. So, I like that one. The wind's blowing like perfume through a prom. Okay, when you're really nervous. Now, my husband says this one, and I didn't even know. I'm like, I wonder where he got it. He must have heard it from his parents or grandparents or something. He'll tell me, shoot, I'm so nervous, I could thread a needle on a running sewing machine. I'm just watching. It cracks me up anytime he says that. And I'm like, I'd like to see that. And I've heard this one. He's as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Yeah, that would not be very fun. And I have heard this one. This one's kind of, it's kind of bad, but I have heard it. They're nervous as a whore in church. Yeah, where do we get these people come up with these ideas? Someone must lay in bed late at night thinking of these things. Jumpy as spit on a hot griddle. Now, I don't spit like in my frying pan to see if it's ready. I sling a little water into it and it'll sizzle. But my daddy was telling me when he was young, he went to go eat breakfast at this restaurant, and you could see the people cooking in the back. And the guy was heating up the grill. My dad saw the dude spit on the griddle to see if it was ready. So I'm sure that's where Jumpy a spit on a hot griddle came from. I don't know if I don't think he even ate. I think he left. There's no way. My daddy, he was pretty OCD, and he probably left, but I remember him telling us about that. Have you ever had somebody who absolutely drives you crazy and makes you so nervous? I've been around some people that are like that. Maybe shoot, I might do this to you, but we say, shoot, he'd worry the warts off a can't even talk today. Shoot, he'd worry the warts off of a frog. That's pretty worrisome if you can worry the warts off of a frog. Okay, that's all I'll tell you today. I don't want you to get burnt out on that. Tell me if you like listening to the Texas sayings, the idioms, or if there's something else you want me to find out about. It's kind of fun learning something new. I've been enjoying it. Like, wow, I can't believe that's where that came from. And someone did ask me, he's meaner than a blue-nosed mule. And I looked that one up and I could not find where it came from. But I saw that another saying that said, she's prettier than a blue-nosed mule. Now, that's a little odd. I would find that a little insulting if someone told me, you know what, you're prettier than a blue-nosed mule. Oh, well, thank you so much. But that was the only thing, and it didn't say where it came from, so I really don't know. If anybody knows, let me know below, because I don't have any idea. Well, today's February the 19th. It's my birthday. So, let's see. In the comment section below, I'd like you to tell me when your birthday is. So, I would put down my birthday is February 19th. You don't have to put the year you're born because I'm not telling you. But in the comments, I want you to put the month and day of your birth and use it in a sentence. I don't want you to just put February 19th. I'm like, okay, what do they mean by that? Tell me, my birthday is February 19th, or I was born on February 19th, or whatever day you were born. I want you to put that in the comments below. See how many other February babies there are out there. So that's what I'd like for you to do to be picked in the drawing for next week. I hope that you are having a wonderful day and that you're healthy, staying warm, and that everything's, good for you. I'm just kind of going blank here, my head's empty today. I don't know, maybe because it's my birthday, I'm getting too old. I don't know, but I hope you're having a wonderfully blessed day, night, or whatever it may be. And I love you guys so much. Y'all are so awesome, and I love hearing from you. Thank you so much for joining me and watching. I hope you watch me through to the end. Let me know. You take care, guys. Love you. Remember to share those smiles and your love. Bye.